There is a lot of cool history in this video on this location. In this video, I'm exploring an abandoned fort that also had a train station. I liked exploring this place. It was very interesting. So here's the history of this location. Fort Tilden, also known as Fort Tilden's Historic District, is a former United States Army installation on the coast in the New York City borough of Queens. Fort Tilden now forms part of a Gateway National Recreational Area, as administered by the National Park Service. Fort Tilden's Historic District is located on the Rockaway Peninsula between Jacob Riis Park to the east and Breezy Point Tip to the west. All three of these sites are operated by the National Park Service. Since its decommissioning, the former installation has regularly become a natural area of beaches, dunes, and maritime forest. Most of the old military installations are abandoned, and military structures are formerly housed. Artillery batteries and ammunition magazines are covered in graffiti. A few of the buildings have been renovated and are used by local art groups, and some large open areas are used as sports grounds. A top one of the old batteries, Battery Harris East, a viewing platform, has 360-degree view that includes the city, New York's harbor, and the Atlantic Ocean. The wider parts of Fort Tilden are popular with bird watchers and other nature lovers, and the beach areas are frequently used for fishing. The fort first served as a coast artillery installation and ended its service as a Nike Ares and Nike Ajax missile site. However, the historic gun batteries and other military fortunes remain closed to this public. Some of these structures are very hazardous. Interior War period. In March 1921, the city of New York would become one of the first locations in the United States to be a defense by 16-inch M1919 guns. These were the most powerful weapons in the United States. When construction began on Battery Harris, the coastal artillery installation became operational in December of 1924. Its two guns were originally mounted in the opening administration when delivered on a railroad system. This had been developed from its internal design as one of the first disappearing batteries. The two unprotected guns were spaced about 850 feet, about twice World War II. In 1941 to 1942, a massive concrete classmate was built to enclose the guns at the Battery Harris. The bunker, which was constructed to prove protection against air attacks, also contained ammunition magazines and fire-controlled system. Fort Tilden was supplemental during the war with another 16-inch gun battery at the Highlands Military Reservation near, I'm not sure how to say this, but Navesink, New Jersey. As both batteries had 16-inch guns, all the older, heavier guns defending New York were subsequently removed and scrapped in 1942 and 1944, except two pairs of long-range 12-inch guns at Fort Hancock on Sandy Hook in New Jersey. Additional 16-inch batteries were proposed for Fort Wadsworth, and a location that is now part of new JFK Airport, but those were never built. Several small batteries were built in and near Fort Tilden during the war. Battery 220 was completed but not armed. It was primarily an ammunition bunker for two 6-inch guns that were never delivered. For anti-motor type torpedoes, boat, or also known as AMTB batteries, were built during the war. 2 each at North Point and Rockaway Point, aka Battery Breeze, Norton Point, and AMTB 18 with 3-inch M1902 gun stand, AMTB 19 with 490 dual-purpose guns. The 3-inch guns were on the pedestal mounts. The 90 AMTB batteries were authorized to fix guns and to tow guns. Rockaway Point had AMTB 20 with 2 3-inch M1902 guns and AMTB 21s with 490 guns. All 6 3-inch guns for these batteries came from battery at Fort Wellington, and AMTB 19 was also called Battery Nuclear. After the war, it was demanded that the guns' defense were absurd, and Fort Tilden was disarmed with the guns removed for scrap in 1948. Cold War. In the fear of the Soviet air attack grew, a bulletin of 16 guns were deployed at Fort Tilden, which was renamed Site NY-43. As part of the United States Air Defense System, the site remained active until 1954. An additional 4 guns, 90 battery, was in the area, 1950 to 1954, and 4 2-gun batteries of 120 guns were at the fort, 1952 to 1955. In 1955, the A guns were replaced by the Nike Ajax missile site called NY-49. These were converted into the nuclear-capable Nike Hercules missile. In 1958, the Nike Hercules system was deactivated throughout the U.S. in 1972. An Army Reserve post. From the late 1960s until at least 1978, Fort Tilden was an Army Reserve post, housing a Serial Corps unit, the 411th Engineer Brigade, and the Army Reserve self-propelled 8-inch Hausenauer Battalion, original the 5th/1/5 Field Artillery FA, and renamed in the early 70s, the 7th/9th FA. From the late 1960s until the 1980s, Fort Tilden served as a United States Army Reserve post, with the 180th Infantry Brigade 5/5 5th, a towed 105th Eisenhower Battalion stationed there until the 188th was deactivated in 1995. Fort Tilden was also the location of the 411th Engineer Brigade, which was headquarters there from 1968 to 1978. Fort Tilden remained an Army installation unit from the late 1970s, when it was decommissioned and turned over to the National Park Service and made part of the Gateway National Recreational Service. A number of the structures are included in a historic district listed in the National Register of Historic Places, including 2 concrete classmates for the 16-inch/50 caliber M1919 guns of Battery Harris. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go, you can take me there too. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And also make sure you hit that like button down below. Thanks for watching.